Hey, Nola. Hey. Okay. Hey, everybody. Who gonna catch this on the live? Who gonna catch this on the playback? Hi, hello. How are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Nikki. This is Ranting with Ricardo. Do this fast, quick, in a hurry because I got to get to this episode because it was a lot, honey. Okay, and it made me feel some type of way about a few things. Okay, if you are new to the channel and you like the content over here, please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. If you're not new to the channel, you don't like the content over here, you could do everything I just mentioned when it comes to liking the content, sharing it, turning on post notifications, all that stuff. Do all that good stuff. All my information, because I really want to just get into this episode and not do the long intro, everything can be found in the description box. Oh, okay, so it's not just me. It's not just me. Everything can be found in the description box down below. Okay, everything, and scrolling across the ticker on the screen. Y'all know regularly scheduled programming. Am I the A-hole Reddit stories coming later? And you know, Real Housewives of Atlanta, them heifers, they coming later too. Okay, my chest is, I'm like really warm. Like after what, and mind you, the air is on and my fan is on, and I got both. Like the air is on high and the fan is on high. Well, the fan is on medium because I don't want to hear that bitch squeak. It's a box fan. Don't judge me, okay? But like both of them are on, and the room is cold, but I am very warm. Like I'm really warm, and I know I'm not sick. It's just like whatever I took from this episode is like really heavy. Okay, now I got phantom shoulder aches. Damn you, Mercedes. Damn you. My shoulder hurt now too. Child, let's get into it because, ooh, this was a lot. So, Mercedes, it is, okay? It gets the job done. I'm going to have to start propping it up so it can be closer to, you know, my face and everything because my face get hot, then the rest of my body get hot. I don't like it, okay? But it's a good ass fan, and she been here for a good. She probably just a little bit older than me, but I'm not sure. The fan was here before I actually lived in this house full time, so it's a story for another day. But hi, hello to the people that done popped up. I see I got 3 people up in here. You know, if y'all want to talk back with us, you can. It's open to everybody. This is a welcoming space. But oh, child, I got a fan. Oh, Sadie's. What? I don't like this. I'm about to be burning sage tonight. I got phantom shoulder pains. Like I'm the one who done shot my Tavius. Like I got that 7 pounds of pressure on me. I don't like it. Whew. Okay. So we open the episode. Sadie's, she on the pole. She trying to build up the strength in her shoulder, but her shoulder ain't like trying to give it to her. And it's not because the shoulder is still weak. It's because she don't think she could do it. She living in her head. She not really doing what she needs to do to really like get back out there. On top of that, she probably feel like being close to 30 because Terica's only 14. So Sadie's has to be at least 28, 29 at this point, but getting close to 30, like, you know, her time on a pole has come and gone. So, you know, she living with all of that, and that shoulder ain't letting her be great. That fear in her head that's telling her she can't do it, and it's the shoulder and nothing else ain't gonna let her be great. And she stopped, dropped, and she didn't roll with it. And now she crying, but Uncle Clifford come in, basically tell her suck that shit up, and that the problem isn't her shoulder. It's the fear. It's living in her head. And let's be clear. We've all had that. Like, I got that right now. That's why I won't learn to drive. I, you know, maybe possibly, allegedly, in another lifetime, may have hit a couple cars and had to pay for it. Now, I don't have a license, and I don't particularly know how to drive for real. So, that bad experience still lives with me and makes me not want to learn how to drive. And that's basically what's going on with her. Now, I would say you can't let fear, take a hold of you and keep you from doing what you need to do and learning what you need to learn. But right now, I haven't learned that lesson yet. So, Sadie, I understand, but we need you to get back to being a pro at the pole. And I don't mean the pole Jay Sean was slobbing on. I mean the actual pole you swing on, okay? But I think you can swing on that pole. You know what? I digress. I'm getting. Listen, I was only 20. But that's all alleged. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, okay. So Uncle Clifford tell her the fear, like what you're going through is not your shoulder, it's what's living in your head. She said, well, the pain problem is not living in your head, talking to Uncle Clifford, it's in your hands. So if I got to try to fix my BS, you gonna have to try to fix yours. So then the theme song plays. Down in the valley where the girls get naked. If she throwing bands, then you know she gonna shake it. 1, 2, break them. I can't sing, but y'all gonna get it today. Okay, I always dance and rap that intro. Okay, and I lost a viewer because I started singing, but it is okay. So the intro play, and then we kick it to Uncle Clifford and Lil Homicide in the kitchen. Now, Uncle Clifford is cutting Lil Homicide hair. He cutting the word murder into the back of his head. And now he done went from platinum blonde back to the regular black. Or maybe his hair was brown and now it's black. I don't know, but the waves is still waving. The waves is still wavy. They making you hoes seasick, okay? And they on the phone. At first, I was like, who they waiting on? Mind you, they been calling up to the hospital to check on grandmother. And, it's COVID times. They not really answering the phones as quickly as possible because they are running around trying to help everybody else. So now they on hold, waiting for the lady to get back to them. Yep. Make sure to like the video on your way in and on your way out of here, okay? Ciao. On Clifford tell little manslaughter, you got a lot of secrets, and I'm not gonna be one of them. Then they get into the fact that the executioner bottoming for Uncle Clifford was special. It was significant. It wasn't an olive branch. It was 100-year-old oak because that shit only come around in once in a lifetime. Okay, it was special. Now I'm not so Deb. I'm not about to get into the depths of norms. What's his name? Look, calculator normally being a top, and then he, became a bottom. So maybe he's verse, but who knows? That's not none of my business until you put it out there for me. I'm not gonna get into like the super details, but it is something special and it's something important. And the fact that he did do it, he like this is special because I wouldn't have did this for nobody else but you. Okay. And she was like, what you mean it's special? He was like, it's special because I also don't know who you've been with. Child, they start going back about where you been, know where you been, know where you been, know where you been. I've been right here, wait, trying to see where you been at. I was like, well, damn. I guess you hoes just gonna argue it out about where who been and who they been with. And Lil Crime of Passion says, I told you who I've been with. So that means Uncle Clifford knows something about either Big Teak or the situation. Because then she says, I hope the New Orleans dick was good. I was like, well, damn. It was in New Orleans when, they got it on. And it had to be good, but, in her sense, I think she was trying to say, like, I hope that, he gave it to you. But here's the thing. I was like, he didn't nobody give it to him. He gave it to them. So, there's that. Now, Now, little aggravated assault says, I was protected. Was you? I was like, well, damn, if y'all gonna argue about it, so now that part is like, the New Orleans stick was good. I mean, it was Big Teak, so obviously it was good. We watched it. It was like it's some real spicy sexual stuff. It was real spicy. Now with Uncle Clifford and La Massacre, it was real sensual. It was like real like love making to the soul and the body and the mind. Like all three of them things, like two different things. But Uncle Clifford, Miss Gwell, you was down there to the party getting your knobs slobbed. Don't play with us. Plus, little boys in the head if it trying to get Cliff and he was playing hide and seek. This is also true. I was like, I'm not about to keep going back and forth with these two heifers. Y'all love each other. Y'all want to be together. The only difference is one of y'all can't be out in the open and the other one lives bright, happy, fluffy, and very airy. Just keeping it light and fluffy, like really light and airy. Y'all know the voice that the head voice they want y'all. They think women should talk in to get men to appreciate us more, or want to go with us. It's the baby voice. Like you want us to talk like this, but it doesn't work. That's basically how Uncle Clifford live her life. Real, just real out there, being herself, just bright, a sun, everything. Okay. Once again, well, not them hoes didn't go back and forth no more, but I was like, please don't go back and forth no more. I can't take it. And it's just like, were you protected? Well, he was. Were you protected? I mean, I don't think you put a condom on it when a boy started to slop the knob, and you could have something. Sorry, I'm eating pretzels, and I mean you could have something because you can get an STD by oral. I learned that right before I went into sexual education in middle school. I was watching what was I watching? Jersey Shore. I learned that there. Now the nurse answered the phone, and we find out once again they've been calling up there every 45 minutes. No news is good news. Uh, and basically ain't nothing for you because you want to check on grandmother, want to make sure she okay. Mind you, Loretta Devine down there playing the angel on the Days of Our Lives. I said, now I see this long ass weave down your back. Okay, Miss Angel Girl. So the nurse can't tell her anything because ain't nothing happened, ain't no news. So she hang up the phone. She upset because she didn't get the information like she wanted to. Plus, them people tired of her calling up there, calling them when they got other stuff to do. We still living in COVID times, but they was living in the height of COVID times. She don't get the answer she wants. She leave Little Murder in the house and take off. Child, we see Sadie. She running with Blackie Miles. That's a pit bull, and it's an adorable little pit bull too. If pit bulls was legal in my state, I would have one by now, but they're not. And them hoes get real big, but they so adorable. They so cute. One it was over, I forgot what holiday it was. I think it was like Memorial Day. It was over that weekend. We found a little baby pit bull puppy in our backyard. It was under my auntie F-150, and then ran by like the window. It's like a dip. It's kind of like dip where the basement would be, like the basement window would be. And she was hiding. Mind you, the little heifer tried to nip at me when I tried to pick her up. But then, I went back, picked her up, put her in a little box, gave her some toys, gave her some water, gave her some food, until one of the neighbors could come get her. But she had the prettiest blue eyes, and we probably would have kept her if he would have waited a while longer, but we didn't. But I say that to say this: I love Mercedes' dog. Now they run it, Black Mile. He hop off the leash because guess who back in town? Guess who asked and got out of jail? Main Finance. I said that is a beautiful man. Okay, that man is beautiful. Unfortunately, on this channel, I call the gangs in Chuckalisa because one's color is the colors are gold, well, yellow, and blue. They the Golden State Warriors. The Hurtsville Hustlers, their colors is red and green. They the Christmas thugs. Maine is a Maine is a hurt. Maine is a Golden State Warrior. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge. He out of jail. His ass back on house arrest. I see them nice, clean, fresh Reeboks on his feet. I see them bitches is white, like white, purer than snow. Now we find out that the Golden State Warriors, they throwing him a little welcome home party. He wants Sadie's to roll through as his date. And she like, you know what? I'll let you know if I could be your date to the party. I'll let you know. I don't know if I want to go yet. She played a little hard to get and everything. And then she ran away. And I'm just say this. Mercedes got a fatty back there. That thing set up nice. Little jealous. Little jealous. Child down to the diner. Haley in there, and I'm like, now why is she just sitting here drinking coffee? In come Keyshawn, bruises on her face, bruises on her neck. She sit at the counter with Haley. She slide all three birth certificates, hers, Regal's, and Jaden's, to Haley. She was like, what you gonna do with this? Is this enough for no, is this all you need? And she said, yeah, this is enough to get the passports. So basically the plan is Haley is going to, hold on. Child had to eat this pretzel. The plan is that Keyshawn gives her the birth certificates. Haley gets the passports. She has to give. Get who? What happened? You about to get in the car and get who? What's going on? The plan is, oh no. Keyshawn says she needs the birth certificates back before the demon who live in her house that like to put hands on her realizes that they're gone. So the plan is Haley is going to get her, Keyshawn, and the two kids' passports. She's going to have Keyshawn perform as the headliner for the grand reopening of the Pank, and she is going to have Keyshawn convince the demon to allow her to dance at the club. Oh, Keyshawn and the kids. Child, me too. So basically, she gonna have Keyshawn become the headliner. She need Keyshawn to convince the demon that live in her house to allow her to dance at the Pank. Because what's gonna happen is, based off this plan that they've concocted, he gonna take all the money she makes on the floor, but Keyshawn is going to take all the money at the door. And once Haley hands them passports over to her, she got to take off right then and there. Ain't no looking back. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Don't go to jail. Don't try to, buy up no houses or no properties. Okay. Don't try to even put the houses and the hotels down. You take the kids, them passports, the money you made at the door, and you got to go. Okay. Bon voyage, arrivederci. Later, loser, goodbye, good riddance. Don't come back around here no more. I have to leave Easter baby, kick rocks, and get the hell up out of Chuckalisa. That's what she got to do. So, okay, we got a plan. We got a plan. We've been saying we needed a plan. We got one. Haley asked Keyshawn, where are you thinking about going? And Keyshawn almost told her, and Haley said, no. First rule of what you trying to do, don't tell nobody where you going, even the people that are helping you. First of all, plausible deniability. Second of all, if that man try to go postal and come after people, then they really don't know, and his ass can get locked up if he tries to hurt them or does actually hurt them. Now, as Keyshawn's walking away with her, her little bacon cheese fries, she tells Haley, not Haiti. She tells Haley, I looked up Haley Clifton. It says she died in a flood in Texas. And Haley says, surprising because she's sitting right here at this counter drinking coffee in Chuckalisa. I mean, not for long. Basically telling her that you could legitimately disappear And people can say you died and everything else, and they will never know if you do it correctly. And technically speaking, she did it correctly. We don't know what happened. Like, we believe the baby died, but some people on TikTok think the baby is alive. They also think Whisper is Lakeisha Savage. We don't know. And the fact that the people in Texas believe she's dead, but she's really alive and she's out here moving the way she's moving, that should say something about how she operates. So now we got a plan. Keyshawn, it looked like Keyshawn almost up out of there. Child, tell me why the mudslinging has begun down to this stupid ass election in Chucalissa. They done found out that Andre done lied about his whole familial situation. I don't know if his mama was really a drug addict, but we know his daddy not dead. His daddy's sitting on death row for murder. So now they calling him a liar on the campaign. And then, the black people that's in the restaurant was like, I knew we couldn't trust him. I know a nigga when I see one. And I knew he wasn't right. Corbin is pissed. I was like, well, we all know I don't like Corbin. I believe there's something wrong with me because when he was yelling and everything, I was like, I find this somewhat attractive. I do. I shouldn't, but I do. He's sitting up here yelling at the people that's helping with the campaign. I'm about to get to that. Corbin. Oh, okay. So Corbin's sitting up here yelling at the people who help him with the campaign and told them to basically get the hell out. Then he started yelling at Andre, telling Andre, you should have told me everything. I told you when I started this with you. You tell me everything, every single skeleton, so nobody gets blindsided about what's going on. Like Nola said, by way of Funky Dineva, spray your own tea so nobody can do it for you. Do it for yourself before somebody could, spin a narrative that's far worse than what actually happened. Andre was like, what was I supposed to do? Put it on a t-shirt talking about I'm a child of a murderer? And Corbin said, yes, bitch. That's exactly what you was supposed to do. And I was like, now, y'all know, I'm trying to fix my mic. Y'all know I don't like Corbin. I've threatened to beat him with a bag of oranges multiple times on this channel, and everybody else is in the comments. Y'all know I don't like Corbin, but I got to agree with this raggedy batch and his dry ass curls when it comes to this situation. You were supposed to tell him everything, especially if he's backing your campaign. That way, he knows how to operate and move throughout these situations, and probably could have stopped this mudslinging on you in that sense. Now, they probably would have brought up your wife sucking dick down to your house and then yelling at you to put on a mask as she came in, or the fact that you was your head and your peen was about to meet Haley's coochie last season, and then they could have got the nosy ass hotel worker that gave you the Bible and was looking at you crazy every time you walked up in there. They could have did that. Yes, it's dry ass curls. Them curls look dry as the Vegas heat. They look dry. Mind you, he's a ginger just like my sister. And I was like, you got red hair, my sister got red hair, but at least hers be moisturized. Sometimes over moisturized, but at least hers is moisturized. Yours is just dry. It's dry. It's dry like, what am I trying to compare it to? It's not even dry like Vegas heat. It's dry like, when y'all got that family member who can't cook and who decided to make because you already got the person designated to make the macaroni because they're not gonna fuck it up. They will not fuck it up, but you got somebody making dressing, or for other people's stuffing, but I call it dressing. When you got them people who make dressing and they dressing just be dry as hell, that's how dry his curls are. So Corbin pissed. He pissed off. Child, then here come the mudslinging when it comes to Patrice. Child, they said she a hoe, and she a scammer, and she done did this, and she done did that, and she not really running for the Lord. I said, I could have told you she wasn't running for the Lord. That bitch ain't about nothing but her money. What I do? I ain't do nothing. Was it because I called Patrice a hoe? I don't like her. Then This is where Nola's comments comes in. Then they meet up with Patrice down to her church, and she said, "Yes, I was a hoe. I sucked a lot of dicks in my days, and I've been on my knees many nights. Okay, and I was running check. I was doing check fraud. Okay, I was hoeing and I was scamming. Okay, because Chucka Lisa ain't have shite left for her, left her no choice but to be on her knees and on her back and using her hands and her mouth and any other thing she could to get that money to, you know, to take care of herself. But I want to know, if you was on your knees and on your back and using that mouth and sucking a lot of dicks and, doing check fraud, Patrice, why is it that you was having Mercedes as she was a kid, and as she got older, you was pimping her out, having her bend over in front of grown ass men? I would like to know that. Explain that to me. If you was doing all this, you must have not been a well paid hoe. And she was arrested. Then they played the fight from the first season. Child, but she said I was it was dry like dressing. It looked dry, okay? He not even well moisturized to be a biracial. I know plenty of biracials who got that type of hair texture and keep their stuff moisturized because they refuse to be out here with dry ass scalp. Now, Patrice, I don't know why you was not a paid hoe. I don't know how you got caught up so many times, but she said it's all Chuckalisa's fault and that she did it so everybody else in Chuckalisa didn't have to. So vote for her and vote no for the casino. And Corbin said at least she owned her messy. And I was like, that's about the only good thing I can say about Patrice because I don't like her. Oh yeah, that's where the next scene comes in. Well, the next scene after I talk about Keyshawn, but he is biracial and he was the secret love child. Like in the first season, Keyshawn. Hey, Gabby Janice. Yes, Patrice gets on my nerves too. If you stay on this channel long enough and go back and watch my reviews from the first season and before this episode, you will know that she's the bane of my existence. It's a select group of people, and I'm gonna make a reality show. Nola gave me the idea when she's making Real Housewives of Delusion. Y'all check out her new reality show for that. But my new reality show is the banes of my existence. So I'm gonna run it down to y'all uh before I continue with the recap review. Patrice Woodbine, she is the main wine glass holder. I got to figure out all my stuff over here. Following up Marlo Hampton. She's second in command. Following Marlo is Derek, aka the Mayo Monster, aka I like to beat up on my kids and my girlfriend because my daddy beat up on me and I didn't learn no better because my mother didn't do the right thing for me and is to take me up out of that hellhole. He follows Marlo. Now, who was number 4? Child, I don't know if oh, Pico old hating ass. Pico. He didn't came right after Derek. His old hating ass. He number 4 up in there. And I had to take out Corbin because I was like, Corbin, you teeter on being on my list and then off my list and then on my list. And you would like, even though your curls is dry like dressing made by the person who shouldn't be cooking whatsoever, you kind of attractive to me, okay? Just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. But yeah, Derek need to go. Derek need to go. But he is biracial. I learned that when shoot, what was it? When Mercedes and Keyshawn was beating him up in the Paradise Room, and Keyshawn was like, "That's a waste of yellow," or whatever. She learned that from her stepmama. All that. But yeah, he a little biracial something. Fool me how? Trying to let the drag girls suck me in, or let the drag girls not. I'm confused. You let me know. But boom, Corbin's right. The only good thing I can say about Patrice Raggedy Ass Woodbine is she owned her messy. And I appreciate a person who owns their messy, not Patrice, because I don't like her. Make no mistake, I don't like her. I would push her into some tumbleweeds. The way Evelyn was in that bush with her glasses cocked to the side, that's how I would push Patrice. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna let it happen because I was like, While it's attractive, I don't need this type of energy in my life. It's not good. Okay, it's not. You seem like a demon. I don't do demons, okay? I hear y'all nice people, but I don't want no dealings. Child, I done scooted down all the way to notes. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, now down to Male Monster in Keyshawn house, but it's really Keyshawn house because Keyshawn daddy bought it for her and it's in her name. I'm gonna bring that comment up when I get to it. Okay, so down to the male monster and Keyshawn. He come in there while she washing dishes with some red bottoms. And I said, I know it ain't no damn Christian Louboutin in that bag, because I want to know where the hell you got the money from. Where you get the money from? Is it Keyshawn money? Who? I'm sick of him. He got to go. He got to go like yesterday. I am sick of him. I don't like him. Oh, raggedy batch. You and your raggedy ass mammy and your daddy too. I blame him. Like, I don't like Derek, but I can say I blame his parents. First of all, I blame his mama for not being like not leaving and allowing that man to beat on her kids. I blame Derek. No, I don't. Well, I do blame Derek, but I blame Derek daddy for beating on his kids. I don't like Derek. I don't like his mama. I don't like his daddy. And we only got to see the mama. We don't even know what the daddy looked like. But I don't like that whole goddamn family. He done bought her some Christian Louboutins with her money. He trying to put it on her foot. Basically, y'all know when we got Keyshawn's story, it was like she was Cinderella and he knew exactly what her shoe size was and everything. However, this time around is not the case because it was 7.5, but her feet, like her foot can't fit it because her feet have spread after 2 kids. I think so too. I think Derek Daddy was probably beating on his mama, and then eventually, when they had kids, his anger turned from her to the kids. And at some point, she just accepted it because they said during the Keyshawn story and how she met Derek and he became her, like, basically, she was stuck with him because nobody would allow her to leave that man. I think they were still married. But the shoes he bought her don't fit. So she is no longer Cinderella and he's no longer Prince Charming. I like the correlation. I don't know if anybody else picked up on that, but that's what I thought when it was like he's trying to force this shoe on her foot and it won't fit. So she like it don't fit. He get up and start beating himself in the head, talking about he can't do nothing right. He just beating himself in the head. He turning red. I was like, am I supposed to feel bad for him? Because I don't. I don't feel bad for you, sir. And he was like, just tell me what I can do. Tell me what I can do to change. I just want to change. I just want to be better. Just tell me what I can do. That's what he sounds like to me. He says, I'll do anything. So then he starts naming off stuff. He was like, I'll fix your room. So, you could go back to dancing for OnlyFans. She was like, I don't want to do that. He says, well, you could go back on tour. She says, I don't want to do that. He was like, well, do you want to dance at the Pink? She was like, but then he was like, you want to dance at the Pink? Only bad things happen there. Only bad things. And, I don't want anything bad to happen. And she says, well, that's the only place I've ever felt free. And I wish we would have gotten to see if scheduling would have worked out. I wish we would have gotten to see Gidget and Keyshawn go down to the Pink to see Gidget's mama perform, and then see how Uncle Clifford and Keyshawn originally met. And then, he agrees while he is hugging her by the stomach. And I was like, this reminds me, if y'all have ever seen that movie Waitress with Kerry Russell, the movie Waitress, where he finds the money, he didn't yanked her up. Mind you, she pregnant. She had been saving money to run the hell away from him, and she got pregnant and wasn't like the pregnancy threw a monkey wrench in her plans. And he was verbally and emotionally abusive to her, and she wasn't in love with him. And this is the movie Waitress, so she was hiding money around the house and everything. And eventually, her friend is getting married. He found the money. He didn't yoked her up at the wedding, threw her in a car, took her home. He can't hit her because she's pregnant. Mind you, he didn't hit her in the past, so he was emotionally, physically, and mentally abusive to that lady. And then, because she wanted to leave him, he get down and start hugging her stomach, begging her not to leave. I said, well, damn, this reminded me of Waitress. The only difference is she didn't see a way out of there with him, because he ends up taking her money and spends it on BS. And Keyshawn did, because as soon as he agreed, while he is sitting there crying and hugging her by the waist and laying his head on her stomach, she's just smiling because she didn't have to do a damn thing to truly convince him to let her dance. Like, she didn't have to do anything that would involve her to get physical with that man ever again and get her to dance. But I forgot to mention, he was like, what is it you want? Anything you want, like, what is it that you want? And she says what she wants can't be bought. And that's when he starts naming off all the stuff. Hold on. I thought he was about to punch the crap out of Keyshawn. I don't think I've seen people do that, but that was like more of when I was in elementary school. We had many like autistic children in our classroom. So I was able to see that, but like they would like hit themselves sometime. But I was like, I don't think that's what this is. But I was like, oh, I've seen this before, but that's not what this situation is. He, I was like, what's wrong with him? Is he on that stuff? But she ain't had to do nothing to convince that man. She finally got what she wanted. Her plan is under the way, and I hope it work out, because I can't do another season, another episode with this raggedy batch here. So we gonna shake. Ciao. Corbin go down to the mayor's office to see Wayne. I can't stand Wayne. I can't stand Wyatt, and I sure as hell can't stand Corbin and his dry ass curls. But Wayne is behind all the smear campaigns, and Corbin says, you airing out everybody else's dirty laundry. Why don't we air out our father's dirty laundry? And he said, you are the dirty laundry, Corbin. And that's where the court, yeah, he's only suggesting that because he feels like, once again, he likes the money she gets from dancing. He needs the money she gets from dancing because his people ain't trying to help him. They basically want him to come back and leave her, but he not going to do that because he found a punching bag that he likes and he don't want to give her up. But I say the correlation between this scene and the movie Waitress, if y'all haven't seen the movie Waitress, y'all gotta go watch it. I love that movie. I could play that whole on repeat. I got it on DVD. I might go try to find it after I get off live. But in Waitress, he was emotionally, mentally, and physically abusive to her, and we obviously see that. Same thing with Derek and Keyshawn, except for because this show it's more graphic, we truly get to see like the impact of like all the physical violence on her. He takes her money, like the husband and Waitress. Derek takes her money on this show. He is like same scene played out. The only difference is Keyshawn's not pregnant and the lady in Waitress was. She eventually got sick and tired of him in the movie Waitress after she had her baby and told him she was done with him. She didn't want him no more. If he ever came within, I think it was like 5 miles of her, she would run his ass over. I'm waiting for Keyshawn to have one of those moments. And if you got to off that man, I'm not going to judge you. I'll be your alibi, okay? But he likes the money she made from dancing, and the husband and Waitress like the money she made from waitressing. I don't even think he truly had a job, but he would be taking her tips when she would get in the car after he picked her up from work, if he picked her up from work, because sometimes she would have to walk. So we down there with Wayne and Corbin, and Corbin was like, we should air out Daddy's dirty laundry since you're doing it to everybody else. And Wayne tells him, you are the dirty laundry. You are the half. I don't know if he called him a half breed, but I'm gonna use it. He called him a half breed bastard, basically. And Daddy did more for you than you ever deserved. than more for you than he should have and what I thought you deserved. I said, well, damn, Wayne, tell us how you really feel. But you told us last season how you felt when you and Wyatt was basically whooping his ass, and he came complaining to Uncle Clifford about her doing the whole thing with Patrice. Corbin, points out the obvious that all this mudslinging you just did, you just gave Patrice a leg up in the polls because Andre got painted as a liar, and because her dirty laundry got aired out and she owned it, people are more likely to go with her because go with what she wants, like voting no for the casino and voting yes for her as mayor. Corbin was like, why are you backing Andre? Like, what is it? Are you mad? Are you mad that I smashed your fire truck as a kid? Are you mad that why I locked you in the cellar? I was like, bitch, I would be mad. Like, fuck a fire truck. I'd be mad if you locked me in the cellar too. What the fuck's wrong with you? Know what? You know what? I can't with these people. And yes, I said these people. Are you mad that Wyatt locked you in a cellar? Like, they treated him very badly, all because not only was he a biracial child that their daddy had, because I think his mama was like a maid at the house, but the daddy left Corbin more money, like left Corbin more than he left them to. And he was like, or is it because, I have the thing you can never buy? And he means you want to be white so bad and you're not. And I am, and you can't buy that. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't buy it. Yep, that's it, Gabby Janice. Corbin is a love child, and he's trying to find his way, and he too busy trying to get acceptance from his brothers that he doesn't realize that he is becoming the bad guy. He is coming off like he's a real Kyle, and nobody wants to put up with that BS no more. I want Corbin to realize that, even though you look closer to white, your Negro features still stand out, and you are better than your brothers ever could be. You self-hating. They just plain up racist. And at the end of the day, when racist people do the racist ish they do, it always comes back to bite them in the ass. Child, no, no, look, I don't know if you watched All My Children when it was on. But Georgie down to the salon. Georgie is the widower, and she took over Promised Land. She down to the beauty salon with Crystal from All My Children. I said, "No, bitch, I know Crystal when I see her. Crystal, what you doing over here?" But she down there getting her hair curled with some Coke cans, and I was like, "Oh, y'all taking it way back in the day." And talking about how she been hunching the pool boy for the last few years. I was like, he a pool man now. He got to be the pool man unless you've been circling you've been uh bringing in different, like when the pool boy got too old you would get a new one. I was like, the pool boy got to be a pool man now. Okay, you didn't watch it, so yeah, that was Crystal from All My Children doing her hair. So Crystal is kind of being racist and throwing microaggressions at Haley, talking about, yeah, no, you can't come up in here, Shanae's beauty salon is down the street or whatever. Like most people do, white people, when you are in a southern state and they grew up to be racist, hateful little batches. And Georgie is like, oh no, she cool, she cool. Give me a few minutes to talk to her. And Haley says she wants the whole 10 million. Georgie says, I'm only gonna give you 5. Haley says no, she wants the 10. Georgie says that 5 is the reparations you people. And I was like, here go you that word, you people again. You people should be happy about. And that she could hold out until the next vote, because it's looking like Patrice is gonna become don't throw your tablet, okay? If we broke something every time somebody said something racist on a reality show, a TV show, a movie, or in real life, all our shit would be broken up. And then we'd be trying to get it fixed. Georgie told her, I could hold out into the next vote because it's looking like Patrice is going to become mayor and then going to vote down the casino. I could hold out. And I can hold on because I got the money to do so. Do you? I wanted to set her hair on fire. They were a little violent, but that's what I wanted to do. She was irking my spirit. And Haley, once again, is like she want the whole 10 mil. And she says you can't do what you want to do without the pank. And she said, no, I can't do what I need to do without the people, with the people. Which means if it came down to it and she needed to, she would either do something to the Pank and the people up in there, or once again she's gonna hold out and see where that vote goes, and then she's gonna hold on till the next vote and the next mayor comes in, and that way they can convince people to do what they want to do and vote for the casino, because the casino deal will also bring in gentrification. And then they're going to push out all the low income black people. They're going to buy up all the houses. They're going to put a white suburb in there. They want to make it Whitey Town, and that's not it. Haley turned around and leave. Georgie told her, if you leave now, you're going to lose that money. Haley tells Georgie, I see you at the polls. Because she was like, well, you can hold out, and if it doesn't go the way you want, ain't going to be no money. And Haley is willing to take that bet. And the way Georgie was looking at her after she lit that cigar, said, Georgie is a dangerous creature, and y'all need to watch that old hoe. Now we get down to the feud. We down to the funeral home. And Waldy and Murder, they over there with big teeth. They got his outfit together. He look all nice. It don't look like, he went and unalived himself in a car. And they talk about how Waldy knows death intimately and how he out here offing people. Waldy said it had to be done, okay? It had to be done. I was like, the murder to the people in the world who feel like Wody was messed up for that, it had to be done. First of all, that man was going, even though he didn't do it for Keyshawn, that man was going to hurt Keyshawn. And he had dirt on you. So it had to be done. Murder said, you can't be out here doing that. And Wody said it had to happen. And, eventually it all balances itself out. Somebody gets murdered, a baby is born. Somebody like Rome who had it coming dies off, somebody like something else good happens. Every time something bad happens, the universe does something good to balance it out. Basically the balancing act. That's how people, you know from what I've learned from these crime shows, you feel like he a real friend. Nola don't like him, think he up to something. Okay, so Gabby think he a real friend. uh Nola don't trust Wody, and I'm like, he good for what he is. You still just need to watch out for him. It's the balancing act. It's a lot what I've learned from Criminal Minds. A lot of these murderers feel like, and a lot of crime shows. I love crime shows. I don't know what about it is, but I love them. They feel like when they do something bad or they off somebody, especially somebody they felt deserved it, then the universe will come in and balance it out, doing something good for somebody. Like, I murdered someone, but somebody else won a lottery, or I killed someone, but a baby was born, or I murdered someone, but this person needed a heart and then got a heart, or different organs. So it's the balancing act. It's the balancing scales. And the fact that the balancing scales represent my sign as a Libra, I was like, well, damn, I should know all about balance. Murder says, oh, so you God now? And what he said, we all are, and we all the devils. And I think it's basically, I don't know, because I'm not a super religious person. I'm spiritual. But I think what he meant was we all make choices in this life. Once again, I said the theme going across all of these shows are giving someone too much of your energy and the choices you make in life. And I think Wody was trying to say that we all have choices in this life. We could follow this path and be on the good and the righteous, and don't do anything bad, and we could just be like really good people. You then have these people who are really bad people and are considered devils. And then the people who don't get mentioned are the people who they're good people, but sometimes they walk on the wild side, and sometimes they do bad stuff, but they are really good people because in their minds they are doing this bad stuff to help others or to protect other people. So at some point in life, we all are in someone's story. We are all God. We are all devils. And eventually, it's up to you to figure out who you are going to be for the rest of your life. That's what I took from it. I'd be happy to see everybody else's take on it, everybody else who does reviews on this show, because that's what I got from it. But maybe I'll pick something up different from everybody else. Wody is emotionalist because he's a mortician. Most morticians have to hide their feelings in order to do their job. And that's probably why it's hard for people to trust him or see what he does, because he doesn't show that emotion. You have some people who are really out here that who have careers like him, or in a like another career, like you're an assassin, you're in the military, and you've been trained to do this special thing where you have to turn those emotions off, because you can't have that in this field. Like, you can't get sad over every dead body you see that you have to put back together so they look presentable for their funeral. You can't get sad over all this stuff. You just can't. Now, Brody says, no. He mentions the tape, and Murder's like, what tape? He was like, Rome showed Keyshawn a tape. So we find out this tape is from when La Manslaughter was 15. He did what he had to do to take care of himself and his family. And unfortunately, a lot of people who live in those like poor neighborhoods, or they live in the poorer side of like Mississippi and just like the country, like what we consider the South in the country, they have to be out here doing what, like, basically Ronnie Ho quotes, you got to use what you got to get what you want. And at 15, he had to use what he had to make sure that he was able to survive and his people were able to survive. And what he says, I deaded it. And Murder says, what if Rome already sent it off? Which is like something we all thought. It was like, well, even though you took the phone and everything, what if he had already sent it off? And Wody said, then I'll handle it. And I was just like, okay, you become a little executioner, huh? And Murder asked, why me? As in, why am I the one who's been chosen to do what I do and, help everybody else and pull everybody else up? And what he said, out of the both of us, you was going to make it out the mud. So why can't it be you? And I'm like, if you dream big and you put in the work for your dreams, it'll come true. Now we get down to the paint, because we got to get out of all this emotional shit. Down to the paint, they trying to get everything together, okay, trying to get it up to code. Lauren, old big-headed ass, then only gave them a license to operate at 50% capacity. So it's just like, how we gonna pack this bitch out to make all the good money? And Uncle Clifford says, Big L need to be one down there dicking down Lauren, so we be back at full capacity. So this hoe will leave us alone. Mind you, she don't need to never come back up in there. She needs to be on the wall of shame. Y'all, the Pank needs to start a wall of shame. These are the people who cannot be allowed back up in there, and Lauren is one of them. He was like, you need to be dicking down Lauren, because you can't be dicking down Big Bone, because she taken by Diamond. And then Diamond and Big Bone over there in the DJ booth kissing, smacking asses, and smiling. And I was like, okay, I can see in this scene, I can see where they, Miracle Watts and Tyler, started to really feel each other. Or they have been feeling each other, and this is just natural chemistry. Because, baby, it was giving. It was giving all of it. Just in that little bit, it was giving. Now, Clifford said, we're going to make the money, because now Mercedes is back, and she got a new routine. And Haley wants to see her freestyles. Like, freestyle, and the girls are fighting at this point, because it's just like, we know Mercedes didn't do good. And Haley tells her, you're not ready. And she said, we're going to have to get a new headliner, because the headliner we have now, she's not ready, and we open within a week tops. And Mercedes is thinking she's talking about Whisper and Roulette headlining, and she says no, and in comes Keyshawn. Child, everybody face drop. Big Bone face drop. Diamond face drop. Uncle Clifford pissed off. Who else is pissed off? Mercedes is just like what the hell is going on? And the only people who happy up in there, because we didn't really get to see Big L and Duffy, like what they facial expressions were Roulette and Whisper. Yeah, there was definitely giving sexual energy. It was definitely giving y'all have fucked in the dressing rooms or the trailer. You can't tell me no different. Diamond better be careful because we still don't know who Big Bone is or who she's connected to. We believe she because she says she's from Texas and she got the same ring that Montavia has had on, which is the ring that's sitting on Diamond's altar. That Diamond, not Diamond, Montavious and Big Bone have to be connected either by the gang or they're related. That is the running theory right now. We don't know. Child, so we get to the dressing room. The angel and the devil whispering roulette. They in the back fangirling over Keyshawn, talking about they've been following her. Whisper says she want to be like her when she grow up. I mean, you said it. I didn't. They in the back fangirling over Keyshawn, talking about we wear your lashes all the time. You taught us how to do this move. I want to be like you when I grow up. Oh, we love you. We love you. We love you. You an inspiration, girl. Just fangirling over her. And they hear Haley and Uncle Clifford, them bitches is going back and forth, like screaming, yelling, cussing, fussing. Sound like some stuff is getting thrown. They like just going at it, and it's really loud. Whisper pull out a bag of, like a little, like it looked like a sandwich bag, and I mean like the sandwich bags that weren't like the ones you would like you were able to snap close, just like the regular little sandwich bag of Coke, full of Coke. And she asked, you want a bump? Keyshawn said, I'm good. That's not my ministry. And both the angel and the devil take a damn bump in the locker room. Now, Mercedes comes in. I don't think she saw them take the bump. So I was like, okay, Mercedes, the OG, didn't see it. So them hoes going to get away with this again. Keyshawn, this would be the time for you to big snitch hoe. Snitch. I think bringing her back was good. Sadie's can't do it. I think so too. I thought it was first of all she needed to be brought back anyway because that's a part of the master plan to get her the hell away from Derek. But Mercedes can't do it. She lived way too much in her head. The shoulder ain't completely there. And if she would get out of her head and figure it out, she could possibly work something out. I still think she should, in my head, she should be the one training the girls on the pole and using it for like using her gym to do that and making the money that way and become the house mother and really like help these girls because they need it. And Mercedes would put the fear of God into the angel and the devil to keep them from doing coke in the dressing room. Now Mercedes come in, she a little standoffish, and Keyshawn asked, is my locker still open? And she was like, girl, have you lost your mind? Yes, it's still open. Ain't nobody taking that locker. And your vanity's still open too. So Keyshawn goes sit down in her vanity. Mercedes goes to sit down in her vanity. And Keyshawn's, well, at her vanity says she never thought she'd be back here. She never thought she'd be back in this place. And Mercedes said that means you had no other choice. Once again, all the shows, specifically this one, it's about the choices you make. The reason why Keyshawn never thought she'd be back here is because she made a choice in that moment to pull a gun on Diamond and to not save Derek. No, pulled a gun on Diamond to save Derek. And she made that choice, and that choice ultimately got her ass kicked out the palace. And then she makes the choice to have Haley help her get the hell away from the crazy white man. So now that choice has led her back here. And they have a moment of understanding. Like it's a moment, it's all about the facial expressions and the body language. But you could tell that this moment was all about understanding that both of them really had no other choices but to come back here and, use this place to help them make another choice that would lead them to better situations. And then Mercedes said, ain't no place like home. And that's basically what the Pank is for them. Not just Uncle Clifford, but for all the girls and all the people who work there or who have helped out there. The Pank is home to them. It's the place where they can be free. It's the place they can run to if they need somewhere safe to be. Like that is their home, and ultimately they home about to get taken away from them. And it's just like, I'm not sure why y'all just won't build the casino around the Pank. It's still the waterfront property, but build the casino around the Pank, and then everybody is making consistent money. Everybody. Child, Clifford and Haley, them hoes fighting. Uncle Clifford and grabbed her stuff. She walking out the office and basically told her, Haley, I'm going to grab my stuff before you have a chance to sell it. And I would take the jukebox, but I can't fit it in the Birkin. So she go out to her car and she trying to call the hospital again. But because of COVID, they not answering quick, fast, and in a hurry enough for her. So then she dropped her phone, she start crying, and then we see her mama Beulah pop up in the back seat. And she was like, who got you crying? Who asked I need to be? I said, now Beulah, what the hell are you doing here? Beulah, didn't Nola tell you Beulah, why are you here? Like, Beulah, it's okay to come talk to your child every now and then, but Beulah, why are you here? Like, Beulah, come on now, girl. You look good. You a big chesty bestie, okay? I see you. But why are you here, Beulah? And Beulah just talking to Uncle Clifford. Just talking to her. And then before... That's right. Beulah don't listen. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Beulah don't listen. I'm like, Beulah, why are you here? And Beulah, before she disappeared, Uncle Clifford says, don't forget or remember her number one rule. Bitches don't just cry. They get even. I said, well, damn, if that's not a rule to live by. So grandmother had rules. Mama Beulah had rules. Uncle Clifford had rules. Okay, we just a rule-making ass family. So we gone down to Big Teak Fume. And I said, Lord, I know Nola happy because she was like, if they don't have a fume for him, we got to do something. We still gonna do a little something for him. I got the obituaries and everything, but they did have a funeral for him as a best funeral they could have, especially during COVID times. And I don't know, like, I've never seen this happen. I've never been about that gang life. I wasn't trying to be a Christmas thug out here because their colors are red and green. They look like it's Christmas themed, so Christmas thugs is what I call them. They laying in gold and they silver chains on his body. I don't know the significance of that, so I'm not going to say anything. And then Murder leans over before they close the casket and tells him, I wrote you something extra in case it gets dark in that hole, because that goes back to Teak saying, he appreciated them weak ass rhymes circa 2007 Lil Murder, and it helped him not fall so fast, so hard, so deep into the hole and completely lose his mind. He crying. He touched his nose like he did in a restaurant. And then they go outside. They put him in the hearse. He cried just a little bit more. And then he walk off and we see the Christmas Thugs OGs. They show Murder a video of that hating ass nigga Pico, claiming that he had killed Big Teak. Shout that Lil Murder know he ain't kill him. The rest of them think it was like a carjacking gone wrong. The OG says somebody need to teach Pico a lesson about not spitting on a nigga grave. And I said, the way Lil Murder looked, and something got whispered in his ear. I said, now this right here, this gonna be bad. This could only get worse. And then everybody wants to know why he often... There's a lot, like, him being in the hole, and then, like, him being the only surviving member of his family, and the fact that they never got him any help. It's a lot. But the funeral was emotional. I saw one girl, she just like, how at black funerals they do the buckle at the knees, like somebody's about to buckle at their knees and everybody got to hold them up. Y'all have seen these people. Y'all have been at the fumes, and if y'all have seen them, I've seen them multiple times. There is one specific person that I know will always do the knee buckle at the funeral. Child Mercedes, I was like, and he looked so nice and he looked so peaceful, and I was like, why y'all didn't get Big Teak no help? I mean, I didn't want Big Teak and Uncle Clifford to be fighting over a little homicide. I didn't want that. I didn't want them fighting over a little manslaughter. But that funeral made me sad, and it was just like, to think what could have what his life could have been if somebody would have gotten him help. Made me upset. Well, he ain't got no family. That's what he said. He ain't got no family. And the only people who could claim him was LaMurda and Wody. And Wody was like, if like ain't nobody gonna claim him, I'm gonna have to put him basically a pauper grave. And LaMurda said we ain't gonna have that. I'm gonna send my ex boo out in style. Okay, I'm gonna send my man out in style. Yep. I just want to let the people know if somebody puts wings on me, I'm fighting. Just like I don't want nobody to put a bra on me when I go into glory. Not right now, because I still got a life to live. I don't want no bra put on me, and I for damn sure don't want no raggedy ass wings put on me. You can put me on a shirt, okay? Play my greatest hits, but no wings. I was pleased too. It was nice. I appreciated the girl who, the knees buckled. I was like, that's a black funeral right there. That's the way you do it. So we see Mercedes and Keyshawn, they on stage. They trying to practice. They trying to battle it out for who gonna be the headliner. Mercedes is trying to do way too much and it's not working out for her. She in her head. She not ready. Roulette and Whisper over there talking about it's sad watching Mercedes and that they never gonna be like her. And Roulette tells Whisper, you should let that Terrence dude from 2 episodes ago pay you the 2 stacks to eat your coochie. And Whisper is considering it, but she want to ask the universe. And Roulette said, you ain't gotta ask the universe, just do it. It's easy money. And I was like, all easy money ain't good money. It's not. And then because Haley then told Mercedes she not ready, before they could really get into it, we hear Terica ringtone. It's that stupid ass gummy bear ringtone, and Mercedes takes off to go see her. And then we get to this raggedy ass bitch Shell, and I still want to know. Somebody explain to me how this hoe drank 2 cases of Moscato. She does need to hang up her boots, but she ain't got her money. And I need Farrah because I thought bitch you was gonna be in this episode. Farrah, you need to come back and give Mercedes her money. I know that. Somebody better run Mercedes her 40K. Roulette is trouble. Whisper is trouble too, because she was so down for what's about to come next. Like after the whole situation played out, she was down for it and was having fun. Shell once again then had Terica drive her over somewhere because she drunk. And she's screaming at Mercedes about Terica having an abortion. She throwing low blows at Mercedes. She throwing low blows at Terica. And Terica is just sitting in a chair taking it with a tear running down her face. And she was like, I get that giving away children is a thing for you and your family, but in my household, it's not. And it's the fact that she wouldn't have opened her legs to no fat, like wouldn't have been basically a fast ass little girl opening her legs to a fast ass little boy. Basically throwing low blows. Y'all can't tell me that this is not a normal occurrence for Shell talking bad to Terica and calling her all types of names. Like, Shell, she already know you never wanted her around and you feel like she's a mistake. She already knows that. Mercedes was trying to do her best to not have this conversation in front of Terica, but Shell wanted the conversation to happen in front of Terica because she feels some type of way about the fact that Terica went to Mercedes to deal with the whole situation. And yep, that it pissed me off too. And it's just like Mercedes ended up hitting Shell where it hurts the most. I say every time when I do these reviews, the Shell is a glutton for punishment. That man probably didn't even tell you to basically keep that child away from her mama. He probably said when he said take care of her, it meant go ahead, live your life. But I would have been like, live your life. But check in on her every now and then. Be like a constant, but never like raise her, let her mama raise her. So Mercedes hits Shell where it hurts. She was like, there is a reason that she came to me and not you when it came down to making that choice. Because the way Shell was talking, she would have forced Terica to have that baby. She would have. She wouldn't have given Terica a choice. And then Terica would have been in the same situation with the same generational curse that was carried down from her mother, from her mother's mother, from her mother's mother, and so on and so forth. Because y'all can't tell me that that's not a generational curse when it comes to the Woodbine women. So after Shell get hit where it hurts right in the feels, She ready to go home. And Terica like, I'll take her home. And Mercedes like, no, I'll call her drunk ass Uber. You go to your room. And she was like, no, I'll take her home. I'll drive her. Like you taught me. And I was like, Mercedes, all the times you didn't taught this child something, you taught her to make choices. And she made a choice and to drive her drunk ass stepmama home because I don't know why she drove her home. I don't know. Maybe it's because Shell's a constant, and because of the low blows Shell was throwing, it kind of got to her a little bit. But it's just like, I wish she wouldn't have left with that lady. I really wish she wouldn't have. I wish Mercedes would have hit her too, but Shell's drunk ass would have said, tried to get Mercedes arrested, and Mercedes ain't got the bail money for it no more. I don't know if she can't have kids. I don't know what that situation was, but I know that lady is drunk and she drank 2 cases of Moscato a day. And I know her husband was a grown ass man. I don't care if he was 18, 19, 20, 21. He was a grown ass man messing around with a 15-year-old. Shell thinks she's better than Sadie's and lives on talking down to Sadie's, and she does. And she enjoys it. It makes her feel better about herself. It makes her feel better that she's drunk and unemployed in a big ass house, bitter and delusional and a glutton for punishment for a man who cheated on you with a child. To talk about a woman who was a stripper, but you are raising that stripper's baby. You act like you did her a favor. You didn't, because she wanted her child. She wanted to raise her child, and if it wasn't for the adults in her life, you, your husband, and her mama making all the decisions for her, there's no telling where Mercedes or Terica would be at this moment. I don't know if she was confused. Maybe she was. Maybe she decided in that moment to make a choice to take care of the mother who was a constant and a way to help her and probably eventually get the hell away from Shell. But I do hope at the end of the series, of the season 2, that Terica is living with Mercedes full time. We see Uncle Clifford. She go over there. She pull up on Corbin in the fields. Corbin is trying to work with the irrigation system, but it ain't working, and he throwing shit at it. It's like Corbin is having a bad day. Corbin's sitting up here worried about Patrice, and Uncle Clifford said, "All you got to do is get at home money, and she'll disappear like a thief in the night." So boom, now Corbin has a way to get rid of Patrice and get rid of her. Just say no to the casino. I hope Terica didn't bring her to pull a snap. What's a snap? Oh, to pull a snap where, take a home and then, offer. I mean, you never know with P Valley. That could be the situation. That's exactly what it could be. Took her home, and then after all the abuse she just took from her and the fact that Terica Tier went right away and she was like, no, I'll take her home. And Mercedes was telling her, no, I'll find a way for her. She's like, no. It said snap, and I was like, "What's a snap?" And then I was like, "Oh, she meant snapped." And I was like, "I watched Snap. Yeah, this is a Lifetime movie. This is a Snapped episode waiting to happen." And I'm just saying, Mercedes, go get your child. So we still at the field, and Uncle Clifford didn't told Corbin how to handle Patrice. So now we got a way to get rid of Patrice. Uncle Clifford says, because now Corbin want to know, why are you here? So Uncle Clifford tells Corbin, the enemy of my enemy is a bitch I can link with. And Corbin was like, well, you chose us to be enemies. And she said, no, bitch, you chose us to be enemies by trying to take the pank from up, like to take the pank away from me, not once, but twice. And then they get to talking to, yep, the look on her face, the hurt, that pain, that anger that you could see hidden within them eyes. She gonna do something to Shell. I would say just let Shell drive drunk, but who knows? Let's just hope Terica don't end up in jail behind this situation. So they get to talking. Corbin and Uncle Clifford get to talking about their childhood, and because she's correlating their childhood to their adulthood friendship. And she was like, it didn't matter how many sorry that you're a secret toys your daddy gave you, Corbin. You always took he always took her old Barbies and used to rip the heads off of them. And he was like, I was playing doctor. I was like, Corbin is a petulant child. And Cliff said, then what are you doing now? Basically, the Pank is the Barbies, and the land that Corbin's daddy left to him in his will, that he works all the time, that he's trying to fix the irrigation system on, is the Sawyer, the secret toys, and he is still trying to take Cliff's old Barbies and rip the heads off of them and destroy them. She says, you stirring up a whole bunch of trouble back in Andre, thinking he'll give you some power and not realizing that you truly hold all the power. And he says, you'll never know what it feels like to have the world turn up their nose at you. And she said, yes, I do. And I was like, sir, you're ignorant. You're just being ignorant right now. Corbin, you're being ignorant. You're just being ignorant. Not ignorant, ignorant. And then she drops some knowledge on him. She's like, I know what I'll never be. And she says, you like to swim against the tide. So, like Gabby Janice said earlier, Corbin wants to be accepted by the Kyle so bad that rather than accept who he is as a biracial, white passing black man with, the Negro features kind of poking out and the curly, kind of 4C, probably for A, for B hair, stuff, like hair texture. You would rather fight against who you are and be self-hating to be accepted by these men who will never accept you because you are the love child of their father and a maid, and they are really racist and they don't think you deserve the land you got. And it's just like, Corbin, please start learning how to love yourself. Take your ass to therapy and get out my face before I do get a bag full of oranges and find you somewhere and beat you with them, because that's what it's giving like the ass whoopings that they was handing out to you, didn't really do anything for you. And here's the part of the riddle I didn't get, so y'all got to tell me what this meant. Once again, Uncle Clifford says, Corbin likes to swim against the tide. And then she says, the water has a mind of its own, and you could try to hold it back, but that river is going river. I'm not sure what that meant, but y'all please tell me what y'all think it meant, because I didn't get it. And Corbin says, ain't got time for the riddles. And I was like, that riddle had me scratching my head because I had to go back 3 times to watch that specific scene. And she tells him the new rule that she learned from grandmother before she went to the hospital is, if you can't go to the water, sometimes you're going to have to bring it to yourself. And then I was like, are you dropping knowledge of, if you can't get the Pank, then you need to figure out how to get the Pank will get you a waterfront property? Is that's what it's giving? Because if so, then Corbin, go figure out how to get you a waterfront property and get out my face. Or is this giving something else? I don't know. This part kind of confused me. But maybe I haven't lived long enough or lived life long enough, lived a life to understand this part of that conversation. And then the irrigation system starts to work. And I was like, oh, look at that. The water has come to you. Okay. She said she broke it down. And then the irrigation system started working. It's spouting off water and everything. So we leave them. So now we get down to Whisper and Roulette. Now this scene had me scared because I was like, child, don't let something happen to this girl. Please don't let something happen to this girl. Whisper and Roulette, they down to the hotel, motel, no-tell, getting cross-faded. Whisper is scared. Her third eye is telling her, don't do it. Some not right. Roulette is no, has her do a bump of coke and telling her just to relax and commune and communicate with the universe. Now Roulette answered the door and it's Terrence. And he like, I could do double duty. I didn't know I was gonna have to pull double duty. And Roulette said, this is not a 2-for-1 special. This is not buy one get one free. I'm security up in this hoe. I'm here to make sure nothing bad happens to her. Unlike what Ronnie did to how Ronnie did to what was that girl name? What was Diamond's cousin name in the Players Club? Ebony. Unlike what Diamond did to Ebony, Roulette gonna stay. She gonna make sure nothing happens that Roulette don't want to happen. And she meant that shit. And he was like, you ain't got to stay. She said, no, I'm gonna stay. I'ma stay. Cause what to do? I was like, the correlation between the Players Club is right there. It took me a while to figure out Ebony name because I had to run through all of them. I've seen the Players Club many times. I don't like watching that one specific scene, but that's what this was giving me. Where Roulette said, I'm gonna stay. And if I leave, then your ass got to leave too. And I was like, well, look at how you do it. Now, Roulette in the bathroom playing some type of game, and Whisper on the bed getting a coochie ate. And I was like, I know. I was like, this is some fake ass moaning. And I don't mean like fake moaning for the TV. I was like, he must not be eating it right. I was like, well, cousin, it was cousin. Her name was Ebony, but okay. I was like, he not eating it right because he's some fake ass moans. Roulette in the bathroom, she playing her game, she win her game. By the time she win her game, they done. He disrespectful. Instead of putting her money on the dresser, he throw her money on the floor, treating her like she's a hoe who got to scramble for it. And I was like, oh, you're a disrespectful batch. If you want to pay for it, pay for it. But at least be respectful and put the money on a dresser. She's a classy, well, Whisper not that classy base, but at least treat her like she a classy hoe. Because all you did was eat it and you paid 2 stacks. So she started to pick her money up off the floor, and I wouldn't have picked the money up off the floor. I would have, like, I don't know what I would have said to him, but I've been like, I'm not picking the money up off the floor. You better put it on a bed. You better put it on a dresser. You better do something because I'm not picking this up off the floor. That, and I'm gonna get to that. So she's picking the money up off the floor. She realized he's short 200. Roulette come out the bathroom and she like, what's going on? Yeah, that was short. Wasn't doing it right. Wasn't eating it right. She wasn't. She was fake moaning, not trying to like stroking his ego, but not enough for him to be happy about the situation. Then came up short. Roulette come out the bathroom and she like he short 200, and she was like, pay her money. And he started going off about how she can't even moan right, and if she want more, then she need to give more. And she basically tells him, I faked it. Your tongue game is weak, and you have never pleased a woman in your life. And I felt that energy when you came through the door. So this little bastard get in his feelings, and he ended up choking Whisper. And I was like, don't choke her, don't choke her. I know she get on my nerves sometimes, and I can't stand the fact that she be doing bumps of coke in the locker room and all that stuff. But don't choke her, let her go. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Miss Seeley. Don't do it. Sheldon and Roulette came in clutch. She pulled out a gun, held it against his head, and said, I want to play my favorite game. Her favorite game at this point is Russian roulette. And she was like, it's one bullet in here. Let's see how long it takes to get to that one. So she holds the gun against her head, pulls the trigger. Nothing. But you see the sparks. She holds the gun against his head, pulls the trigger. Nothing. You see the sparks. She still got the gun against his head and she about to pull the trigger, but both the dude, Terrence and Whisper, are yelling at her to stop, begging her to stop, begging her to stop. And she, walks around front, puts the gun in his face, tells Whisper, go take off his clothes. She not moving fast enough, so she said, bitch, I said go take off his clothes. Whisper starts stripping him. I said, aw, hell. Not you about to make this girl do something she don't want to do, as in have sex with this man. That's not the case. She tells Terrence, get on your knees. He don't get on his knees. So Whisper, now into this bullshit, puts her hand on his shoulder and forces him down and says, my bitch said, get on your knees. Roulette tells him open wide. He do it. She put the gun in his mouth and she says, now show Whisper how you wanted her to moan. And basically she sexually assaults him with that gun by making him suck the barrel of the gun. I'm gonna say that's what it is. I don't know guns like that, but basically she sexually assaults him by making him uh suck the barrel of the gun and says, show her how you want her to moan. And he basically gets the sucking like he was a pro at the pole. But right now it's not a pro at the pole. And she was like, as he's sucking now, who got the dick sucking lips? Because really, he the one who blew up her spot at the club, and that's why she had to put the paws on Brazil. So the next thing we know, we see these hoes running out the hotel room. They booking it. They got his stuff. They got their stuff. They run down. He like, not my car, not my car. He butt naked holding his piece, like, cupping his peen, like, not my car, not my car. I'ma kill y'all. Roulette said, I would like to see you try it. They take off with the car. Them hoes in, they enjoying it. I said, well damn. Well damn. Hold on, let me go to the comments. I feel like Roulette used that moment because she didn't want it. I don't know. Like, because at first I thought when that whole situation happened, when the idea of Terrence and Whisper first came up, it was kind of like jealousy because they were competing back and forth for the moves. And when I said Roulette did the best move I've ever seen in my life, I was like, I don't know if the girls really do that type of move in the club, but if so, I would pay to watch them do that. But I also think that she was like, she has a real good relationship with death. Not only talking about her brother, but also the fact that she has probably been in some situations where, yeah, she's been on the brink of death and she not scared of that shit no more. I was like, well, okay then, Miss Girl. That part took me out too. I was like, well, this is a lot. I don't know how to feel. I needed to go plate because I don't feel comfortable eating here anymore. Then we get down to Haley. Mind you, Haley tried to call Andre earlier in the episode when she found out about the mudslinging and his parent, like, his parentage coming out. So she showed up with some moonshine. They talking, they listening, they sitting on the floor, they listening to some music, talking to each other, drinking. And he says, saying his father was dead was a whole lot easier and better than saying that he was in jail for murder. Haley mentions that, being in the system and wanting to get her file. Once she turned 18, she never got a file, but she wanted her file so she could learn where she came from. And she would have appreciated that, even if it meant, seeing the person opposite of her who probably had her eyes or her nose or her lips on the opposite side of some plexiglass. I'm just say this. My father went to jail for a good majority of my life. Didn't get out of jail until I was a freshman in high school. I never went to see him in jail. We talked from time to time, but I was like a kid when he went into jail. And by the time he got out, it was just like the relationship wasn't good. But I get you don't really tell people, about your parent that's in jail. I didn't tell anybody my parent was in jail until it became convenient when applying for stuff. So I get that part. I don't get the part of wanting to know who I look like because I was told every day, I either look like my mom or my daddy. So I don't know that life. He says he wanted to be better than his father. And she says, you are already better than your father. Look where you are and look what you're about to become. I believe in you. Don't make your mistress wrong. Now he says, I enjoyed the night they spent together. Now she treated him like a real hoe. Left him a $10,000 check on the nightstand, okay? And I was like, well, that's the way to do it. That is the way to do it when it comes to a man like Andre. And he was like, I enjoyed my night with Lakeisha, but, I want Haley. And she was like, I can't give you Haley right now, but I can give you Autumn. So she starts to pull down the strings of her little top or whatever, her little crop top situation. And he was like, you know what, I'm going to keep that 10,000, maybe get it for the next fundraiser. And boom, the lights go off in her head. Fundraiser. So she called the girls because they about to throw a fundraiser. We're not gonna see it in this episode, but we got what was this, episode 8? We got 2 more episodes to go. 9 and 10 is the season finale. Haley and if y'all ever seen 16 Candles, the scene where they sitting on the table with the birthday cake in the middle and then they lean over to kiss each other, that's exactly what this was giving me. It was giving me 16 Candles without all the craziness. But it was giving 16 Candles without the moonshine. Then we see it is too soon to end. I need them to be renewed for a 3rd season. I need the 3rd season to be already filmed so they could drop that. They could drop it in January, and then we could keep it pushing. Quit playing with me, Starz. Quit playing with me. I need it back. I need P Valley in my life. I get the shakes when I don't get to see it. Okay, I be out here like a real crackhead, and I don't smoke crack. We see this hating ass bitch Pico. Okay, he come out the store. The music is real melodical. It's giving very much something bad about to happen, and you can always tell what the energy of the scene is giving based off the music. Pico walking home. He walking through basically, I wouldn't say the woods, but it looked like it's down by the water where there's a lot of grass and it's some broken down trucks and some old built buildings or whatever. And Pico son called him, and the baby is like, I can't sleep. I want you home. Because Pico done told him, you're supposed to be in sleep and everything. And he like, I want you to sleep. No, I can't sleep. I want you home when you're coming home. And Pico was like, I'd be there. And I was like, oh, y'all almost made me feel bad for this hoe. But I don't. I feel bad for them kids. I don't feel bad for Pico. They gave me a couple vibes more than Andre and his wife. Andre and his wife been, they've been on the edge of glory for a long time. On top of that, she was slobbing somebody's knob in their room and told him to put on a mask when he came in. That right there, it's got to be a blow to your ego. So Pico get off the phone with his son. It looked like he even stopped by the store to get some ice cream or something. And out of the darkness, here come the aggravated assault. And he and Pico, when he saw him, his life flashed before his eyes. And he was like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Like, I didn't kill Big T. I didn't do that. Okay, I didn't do that. I only claimed it because, my boys was clowning me after he beat my ass in Memphis. Like, I didn't do it. I just said I did it because I wanted to seem better than what I was. He was stressing that he didn't do it. And we all know the executioner knows Pico didn't do it. But at this point, Pico didn't set himself up for the okie doke. He didn't wrote a check his ass can't cash at this point. And Lil Crime of Passion tells him, you claiming to be something you're not. You claiming a body without actually claiming the weight that comes with it, like the heaviness of the body as it's laying on you, as this person is gasping and choking on air and choking on vomit, and that their blood has painted the red the red of their blood has fucked up the whole white outfit and the whole interior. So you are picking up the weight of claiming a body without actually picking up the weight of what that can do to you. Ciao. Less second degree murder had an AR-15 is what I thought he had. He aimed it at Pico. Pico now begging for his life. He mentioned that, my mama, and my mama need me. My son, he's 6. I'm about to have another baby. The aggravated assault said, oh, Tyson? He was like, yeah, Tyson. So Pico thinking that now the third degree murder is actually, is understanding of him. It's going to let him live. He going to live to fight another day. That is not the case. That's what he had. He had that Draco. I don't know guns like that, but thank you, Nola. He had that Draco. So he had the Draco pointed at Pico hating ass. And at this point, like I said, Pico was begging for his life. He mentioned his mama and how his mama need him and how, little second degree murder know his mama. He mentioned the kids. He mentioned the kids and how little crime and passion know the kids. And he was like, oh yeah. And Pico thought he was gonna get away with it. Pico really thought he was going to get away with it. Murder lifted the Draco and said, I'm going to basically the son Tyson, who's 6, who's going to understand all of this. He said, I'm going to let him know his daddy loved him. And then lit his ass up. I said, oh, Lord. I was like, I want to feel bad for Pico, but then I don't want to feel bad for Pico because you set yourself up for this. Like, if I get it, your ego was bruised. I get you felt some type of way and you was getting clowned for your ass getting whooped, but you could have went back and tried to whoop somebody else's ass that tried you. You could have did that. You went and claimed the body that you had nothing to do with, and ultimately, you signed your death certificate. You signed that check. Your ass wouldn't have been able to cash. Now, I thought this was smart. I don't know if anybody else picked this up, but I thought this was hella smart because after he lit his ass up, I here's the thing. I thought so too. I was like, because this gonna be bad because you just killed him. You didn't started a war. But here's the thing. I don't know if y'all caught this because it was so dark that you weren't able to see what he was wearing at first. And then you really couldn't see what he was wearing because of the way it was lit. I think they didn't want you to see the colors he was wearing. When he stepped out of the darkness after he killed him and now the lights are kind of on him, you see that the hoodie he's wearing is a blue hoodie. It's the same blue that go with what I call the Golden State Warriors, that gang down to not Huntsville, to Chucalissa. He wearing a blue. Then he pull up the bandana. It's the same kind of color bandana Maine had on when he first saw Blackie Mile in Mercedes at the beginning of the episode. I said, well, damn, little aggravated assault. You is a smart bitch. I see you. I see you. Like, you would think this is starting a war because honestly it could start a war because they could think that the Christmas thugs decided to kill Pico over Pico claiming the fact that he killed Big Teak. But the way Lil Murder did it, he waited until Pico walked over there and lit his ass up. On top of that, he was wearing their colors when he did it. And when he was walking away, he was motioning them to like where Pico's body at because they heard it, but they didn't know exactly where he was. So he motioned them over doing they throwing up their gang sign. I said, well, damn, bitch. Damn. You was trying to set it up like Gabby Janice said, like one of the homies did it. You was a smart bitch. Okay, I see you. Now this part got me because I really thought that he was just gonna let him go because I thought he was feeling the love and everything. But I guess he said, hell no, I'm gonna get this bitch before he get me. Because on top of that, Pico talked too fucking much for his own good because Pico is the one who always dropping little hints talking about Lil Murder gay and Lil Murder did that and you ain't his type. And I probably should have known that Pico ass was about to get got this episode because they played him in the preview of what happened the last time. And I was like, but that Pico situation didn't happen the last time. Why is he here? Now down to the block party. Mercedes then pulled up. Maine is there. They about to have a good time until everybody start running up talking about somebody just killed Pico. Somebody just killed Pico. Once again, they don't know who it is because Lil Murder had their colors on. And once again, I said, smart. Could start a war based off of like how everything was happening during that day. But he had them damn colors on. And I was like, and here's the thing. I don't think nobody would have caught it, the fact that he was wearing their colors. But the only reason why I caught it is because I kept running it back. I don't know why, but I was like, something not right. Like, I don't like the situation. Like, something didn't sit right with me. And I was like, what the hell is he wearing? because I thought he was wearing his colors or something. But I was like, what the hell is he wearing? Because I truly thought it was black. But then I was like, no, that hoodie looked blue. So when I kept running it back, especially when I'm taking my notes, because I want to make sure I'm very detailed. That's why it takes me so long. Like when I'm watching it, it takes me longer than expected. And then it takes like this live goes longer than I truly want them to be. But I got the gift of gab so I can talk my ass off. But I'm like, I want to get down to the details and give that to y'all. So maybe when y'all watch it again, y'all would pick up and see the things I saw. But yeah, he had on that blue hoodie. Then he had on the same like bandana with the yellow, and I don't know if it was like black or like a darker blue, but he was wearing their colors. And I was like, that's a smart way to do it. So now they don't know who killed Pico. They just know somebody killed Pico and Pico dead. And Maine is about to run off with them. And Mercedes said, you got the ankle monitor on. Let the people without an ankle monitor handle that. Hey. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, girl, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So she stopped him. He getting eat up by the mosquitoes, and so am I. I'm like, I got a whole bunch of mosquito bites going up and down my legs and thighs. I was like, I don't like this. Did it teach me to wear shorts outside to give somebody the phone? Not you just woke up randomly. You know what? I'm glad you're here. Even if you woke up randomly, I'm glad you're here. You're gonna go back and watch it again? I was like, I wouldn't have caught it. I also wanna okay, so before we continue, there is a bag. Like I've been in this bag. It's a black owned like handbag company, but they also make other stuff, but it's a black owned business. It's CISE, I think is how you say the name. Sice store. It's on Instagram and Twitter. And the little bag Keyshawn had, we talk about P Valley, but I took a minute because I was pointing out, because I'm very detailed when I take my notes, because I'm like, I'm picking out little things, because it's just like I do this in real life, and I know that when you have like the director and the writers and everything, they'll put little stuff in the script, and they'll just put little stuff on with like the scenery and the clothes that they're trying to tell you a story. So to repeat to y'all again, when Lil Murder goes and eventually kills Pico, the like the way they have him lit, it's like really dark, like he's stepping out of the darkness, and you can't really tell what he's wearing. But I was like, for some reason it didn't sit right with me. I'm like, what is he wearing? Because for one, like when the street lights hit him, I was like, is that hoodie, like is the hoodie he wearing blue? So I kept rewinding it to see what the hell he was wearing, only to find out that, okay, so you have, I like to call them the Christmas thugs. That's the Hurtsville Hustlers. That's the gang that Big T and Lil Murder and, sometimes Wody they in, and their colors are green and red. And Robin, welcome to the chat. And then you have the Golden State Warriors, which is the other game, which is like I forgot what their gang name is. I know one time, no, I know I tweeted out, I was like, okay, so the two gangs in Chuckalisa is the Golden State Warriors and the Christmas Thugs. And the Katori Hall liked it, commented on it, and then quote tweeted it with the actual name of the gang. And if I felt like going back in my phone to find it, because I was like, oh my God, Katori Hall. Not you quote tweeting something I said, like, but she likes to interact with a lot of us on Twitter. So she said the name, but he was wearing the I called them the Golden State Warriors. He was wearing their colors when he killed Pico. So I was pointing that out. And then I got into, there's a bag that Keyshawn has and it says protect black people. That is a black owned a like a handbag / apparel company, and they have those bags, like they come in that size that she has, like the little handbag, and then they come in bigger sizes. And Terica had had the green version of the bag when they was down in the last episode heading to Jackson when she got out of the car, and then Keyshawn had that same bag but in the pink version, and this episode. So if y'all like the bag, or if y'all go back and watch it and y'all pick up on the stuff that I'm talking about, y'all go check out the store, because I'll always be tweeting them when I see their stuff on the different shows. But let's get back to it. So like I said, Maine was having a block party for him getting out of jail, and he wanted Mercedes to be his date. So at this point, Mercedes didn't pull up. Then they let him know before they could really get into the festivities that somebody killed Pico, and they running off getting the guns. They about to go take care of it or find somebody. And Mercedes is stopping him because he got an ankle monitor on. She like, let them go handle it. So they back at her house. He done got ate up by the mosquitoes, and I said I done got ate up by the mosquitoes too, to teach me to step outside the house at any time this summer for the rest of the summer. I hate it. I'm very itchy. It's not. I hate it. And then they start talking about the fact that, she killed Montavious, and the fact that a lot of what's living with her, and the reason why she probably can't get back up on the pole, not because her shoulder is messed up, is fear, and then it's that guilt that she's feeling about the entire situation. And she asked him, how did you get over the guilt of murdering somebody? And he says, you never actually get over it. You carry that with you for the rest of your life, but you try to make a difference in someone else's life. And he was like, and you hope to balance it out. So for this episode, it's about choices and the balancing act, because we keep hearing people talk about choices, and we keep hearing people talking about the balancing acts and the scales. And he was like, and I'm hoping, I could, help you. Like, you could be the person I make a difference in their world. And I thought for a second, Mercedes and Maine was about to get it on, because Sadie said in the first episode she would have hopped on Maine if his ass didn't go to jail. But she said, she don't want that. She not looking for that. She wants something else. And he, very understanding, didn't try to force her, and didn't get mad at her. Just got up and said, I hope eventually you find what you're looking for. And he walks off. And I said, I appreciate Maine that he didn't get upset with her, didn't try to force her to do anything. After she turned him away, said, I'm not looking for that. He actually understood. And I was like, they are better friends than they would ever be lovers. And I appreciate him for that. I think what she's looking for is to finally retire from the club and actually do what she wants to do. I personally think Mercedes, by the end of this show, like, I hope she's not still stripping. I hope she's able to get her gym, or hell, I hope she's able to move her and Terica up out of Chuckalisa, because at this point, Chuckalisa's not good for anybody, and everybody's trying, except for maybe Clifford, but a lot of them are trying to get the hell up out of there. So then we see Uncle Clifford. She's down to the graveyard, down to her mother's headstone, visiting her. And, she got a bottle of Crown. She poured it out for the dead homie real quick. She poured it out a little bit for Beulah. And she's just talking to her. And she's like, I haven't been to see you in years. And, in my mind, I probably didn't come because I didn't want to admit that I was failing, failing at life, failing at business, possibly failing at taking care of grandmother. And you can't really say you failed at taking care of grandmother because you didn't know, like, you knew the severity of Rona, but you didn't think that it would get her. And that's what a lot of people didn't think when Rona, like, first happened, that, it would get your loved ones and it would attack. And nobody was, like, really understanding the severity of it. And a lot of people lost a lot of people, and it hurt. It hurt so bad. And kind of just like thinking about what went on with me during like Rona and everything, and talking about the balancing acts. I came home twice. Well, no, I came home 3 times. I came home 3 times, but the 2 times I actually came home, they were kind of like, the balancing acts, the way they were talking about how life just tends to balance themselves out. I lost my aunt, and then my friend had her baby. And I was like, okay, so the scale's kind of balancing it out. She passed away not because someone did something to her, it's just because, her heart wasn't up to doing its job anymore. But then my friend has a baby, and I was like, oh, okay, so the scale's kind of balanced. You lose one person, but then you have another person come in that, connected to, because me and his mother are very good friends. So we're talking about the balancing act. And now she just begging Miss Beulah, don't take grandmother, leave her here. Okay, I'll come visit basically bartering with the dead, saying, I'll come visit you every week if you just leave her here. Don't take her. And I was like, I had this moment when my grandmother passed away. I was bartering, begging and doing everything I could because I didn't want her to go away. And she says, I miss you. Like, I miss you, but I don't want to miss her too. So please don't take her. And I was like, I hope to God they don't take that lady away from Uncle Clifford, because she will never be the same after. She will never be the same. Getting into the last few things of this episode, and then I'm gonna do the outro and I'm gonna get up out of here because I got to go to sleep, y'all. Well, first I'm gonna go find Waitress on demand, and then I'm gonna watch it and go to sleep. We see Patrice Woodbine, the bane of my existence. This hoe done popped up again. She down here preaching on live stream. People donate money to her. Shaquille O'Neal donated $3,100 to her, and then somebody gave her a $10,000 donation with the note of "Cash me outside." It's Corbin. Corbin came and donated 10K to her and tells her, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and drop out the race. Patrice calls him a high yellow, basically called him a high yellow heifer, a high yellow devil, and says she not doing it, okay? She know the streets, she from the streets know her and respect her, and the Lord has shown her that she could do so much better from the mayor's office. And Corbin, I forgot what scripture he quoted, but he handed over like an envelope that was like it was stacked to the brim, and it was like, I think 4 or 5 stacks, fresh crisp stacks, right on from the bank, and said, now pray on that, you know talk to me, see how you're feeling, but you pray on that, because it's more of that where it came from. I said, well, damn, money is the way to get Patrice to do anything you want. Now we see Roulette. She take the car she done stole with Whisper. Whisper not with her. She take it to Duffy. He had a garage. It looked like a chop shop. And she wants him to break it down and then drop the money off to her. They talking, they kissing. I was like, "You're a little nasty kiss." Okay, I see you, Duffy. I see you, Roulette. Both of y'all hoes. I hope y'all get tested to make sure neither one of y'all have anything. It's a match made in hell, but I guess it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun ride. And he asked, is anybody gonna come looking for this car? And she says no. But yes, money is Patrice's language. That's why it was so easy for her to pimp out her own daughter. That's why she was so mad when Mercedes wasn't doing anything, was doing stuff for money, but it wasn't for her. Money is her language. That's all she speaks. She speaks. The green speaks to her, she speaks to the green, okay? Or if it's a $100 bill, she speaks to the blue. And he like, is somebody gonna come look? Going back to Duffy and Roulette, is somebody gonna come looking for this car? She says no. He not gonna say anything about this car, especially the way he lost it. And he was like, well, where you want me to drop your money off to? But he called her to bus down. She said, down in the valley. You know the rest. Because I was like, oh girl, don't you start rapping the theme song now? She walk out, it's raining, and then she checks the gun and she sees there's only one bullet left. I said, I don't trust this situation. She gonna play Russian roulette again with somebody. I'm not sure who, but she gonna play it with somebody. And then we get the scene to like this last scene, and I was scared, and it like this is the scene that made me like my face was like hot, and it's just like I said when I opened this, like I opened up the live, I was like, the air is on in the house. The air is like on high. I got the fan on medium, because if I turn it on high, it's gonna start to squeak, and I don't need them problems. And I was just like, this scene alone, it made me feel scared, and I was like, I'm scared of what to come, because it felt like he was staring into my soul, and I was like, I don't need you staring at me like that, sir. We see murder. He in a DJ booth. At this point, I don't know if DJ Never Scared then came back to check Elisa, or if he's managed to make it to Atlanta. But he in a DJ booth. You see DJ Never Scared on the outside, and murder. We see his hand. We see his tattoos, but we really get the first shot of him in that. Other than when he's about to really get into it, is the shot of the back of his head, and it has the word murder. And like, Uncle Clifford cut murder into the back of his head when she was cutting his hair, and she dyed it earlier in the episode. So then that shot goes from the back of his head on down to his hand, and he putting on the no, yeah, down to his hand, and you see this lion gold ring. It's a lion's head, and it has like a ruby in its mouth, and then it goes up his arm, so you're seeing the tattoos until we get to his face, and you see the dollar sign on one side of his eye, and then you see whatever the tattoo is up under his other eye. And now we see him, he's standing at the mic, got the headphones on, and he told DJ Never Scared to drop the beat. We end the episode with the beat playing, so I'm thinking we about to hear him say something, and then the shot goes directly to his eyes, like we're looking directly into his eyes, and he's looking directly into the camera, but the camera is basically us, so now it feels like he's staring into my soul, and I was like, I don't like this feels scary to me. I don't like the situation. I don't know why I don't like the situation, but as soon as I was looking at it, I was like, I can't do it. Like I need this scene to end, and I need it to end quickly. And on top of that, his nose started to twitch a little bit. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but it looked like it was a ruby. Maybe it was supposed to, like, maybe it was blood, maybe it was supposed to resent blood, but it looked like a ruby in the lion's mouth. But I was just like, I don't know how y'all felt about that scene, like him just like looking directly at you, but I was like, it makes my chest heavy. It makes me like, I didn't like it. I was like, I was scared in that moment. I was like, I don't like to feel scared like when I'm watching this show, but that right there, it was just like, I don't like this, because it felt like he was like looking directly like through me. Like he could see everything. And it's just like, sir, I don't know you like that. I don't need you to see everything that's going on with me. Hell, I don't want to know everything that's going on with you. Are you okay? Are you doing fine? Do you need some therapy? Do you need some help? Do you need an alibi since you done went and killed Pico? What you need? But that right there had me scared. And I was like, I don't like this. Katori, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you trying to scare me like this? So it made you nervous. I was like, I'm scared. I don't like it. I don't know. No, 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 no. Chris Evans, Captain America, where are you at when I need you? Come help me. Cause this right here, this ain't it, boo. It's not. Like he was really staring. Um, I think for this episode, I like could relate it back to like the different things I've watched in my life. Like the whole Keyshawn and Derek reminded me of the movie Waitress and how that situation played out. And if y'all ever like actually go and watch the movie, you could kind of see some of the similarities in the way that Derek and Keyshawn handled each other, and the way that Carrie Russell, because she's in the movie, handled her what her name's Jenna and his name is Earl in the movie, how the parallels between those two couples. And then when Haley, Autumn, Lakeisha Knight, Savage Clinton was down there sitting with Andre, and they just sitting across from each other listening to records, just talking and drinking moonshine. I was like, it's very much 16 Candles. It's giving me 16 Candles when they were sitting on the table with the cake in the middle of them, and then they lean over to kiss. Um, I thought it was funny that Uncle Clifford and Lil Murder going back and forth about who they've been with, who has done what, and it's just like both of y'all been with somebody, but only one of y'all used protection. Lil Second Degree Murder used protection. Uncle Clifford, I don't know if you used protection when you had that man slobbing your knob down to the skating party. I don't know. And then Pico had it coming. He's had that ass whoop. Well, he had multiple ass whooping coming from seasons ago, but I saw it coming, especially because he wrote a check his ass. I keep saying Ash, but it's ass. He wrote a check his ass couldn't cash, and claiming that he killed Big Teak because he felt embarrassed. And now your mama is sonless, your kids are fatherless, and Lil Murder probably gonna take care of all of them and never tell a soul what happened. But the things that stood out to me is the fact that Roulette she might end up killing somebody if she don't kill herself. Well, unalive. She might unalive somebody in the show if she doesn't do it to herself, because she said her and Death at this point are best friends. Go back and watch. Y'all will see the purse I'm talking about. You see it. It's very prominent in the locker room scene with all the girls, and then you'll see the Christmas, not the Christmas colors, the Golden State Warrior colors that Lil Murder had on, and he threw up the gang sign pointing to where Pico was as he's running away. But that's it. That's all. I ain't got no more to give y'all. Of P Valley went 2 hours, but it was like a very heavy episode with a lot of stuff going on, and everybody's stories were kind of intertwined, but then they weren't. We didn't get a lot of Mercedes this episode, but I feel like we're gonna get a lot of her next episode. And with that being said, that was it. If you are new here, you like the content. If you're not new here, and you don't like the content, like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people, because you may not like me, but somebody out there does. Everything, and I mean everything, from business to social media to buying stuff from me to blessing me with a little something, because a bitch got bills. It's all in the description box down below, and scrolling across the ticker, going across the screen. I will be in these YouTube streets later on in the day. Not tonight. I'm going to bed, but I will be in these YouTube streets. So if y'all are still here and y'all have not subscribed to Nola, y'all go do that. If she's feeling up to it, she gonna do a live later, and then I'm gonna do night night. I'm gonna be doing another "Am I the A-hole" Reddit stories. That's coming, because y'all know that's my Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, 24/7, 365. We take no breaks over here for that stuff, because that's just the gift that keeps on giving. And then the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I feel like Marlo's going to piss me off again, and then I'm going to have to tell her about herself. So that was it. That was all. And I'll see y'all later. Night, everybody.